Hello you guys, it's me, Lakresha. I wanted to share this video with you all before you enter my classroom so that you would kind of know where we are, what we're doing whenever you come in to visit on today. Even though this is probably my 4th year teaching 8th grade science, I like to look at each unit with a fresh pair of eyes. And when I say that, I like to go back to SchoolNet and pull questions from each clarifying objective. The unit that we are studying right now is Evolution and Genetics, which is 8L4. And if you've paid attention to the pacing guide, you probably went back and looked at that and you may say, well, the Evolutions and Genetics unit is not until the end of the year. Well, after conversing with Mr. Burr, we realized that our students did not score as well on the EOG last year in this particular unit. So one thing that we thought is because we taught it at the end of the year when the students are tired, they're tired of us, we're tired of them. So we said, hey, let's switch it up a little bit and bring this unit at mid-year, hoping to see some better results on our EOG test. SchoolNet has played a vital role in my use of the backwards design model to plan lessons for my students. Ms. Burns has given you guys a folder. Inside of that folder, you will find lesson plans, you will find SchoolNet quizzes, and you will find some PowerPoint activities with guided notes that you guys may use in your classroom. I have been in this unit approximately maybe 2 weeks, give and take a couple of days because of the snow. So at the point that you guys will see me at today, I will be conducting technology station activities that is going to bring several of the concepts that we've studied in this unit together. If you take a look at the very first packet, you will find a quiz that says Sibley 8L4.1 Quiz 2018. Before I began to teach this particular clarifying objective, I went to SchoolNet and I pulled the whole entire bank of questions for 8L4.1. I then went through the questions, and even though there may be 100 questions for this one objective, once you start reading through the questions, you'll see that a lot of the questions are the same, but just worded in different ways. And then some of the questions may even look familiar to you. So I go through, I pick out questions that I know have key vocabulary words from that unit, questions that I've seen before, and I come up with about, this quiz here has about 28 questions on it. Once I create the quiz, I then go and I look for activities that will bring out some of those key concepts that I found in the quiz. So in that first packet of information, you'll see a lesson plan. If you flip to the second page, you'll see a probe. We love probes. So for this particular unit, or this particular lesson, I brought about the biological evolution probe. Next, you will see a worksheet that has word definition, picture, and example. Again, these are some words that I thought were key, words that I've seen over and over again, and I knew that the kids would need something in their hand that they can refer back to when studying for quizzes, tests, benchmark tests, or EOG. If you go to the next page of this first packet, you will see Comparative Anatomy Guided Notes. The guided notes are 3 pages long, and I've also placed a copy of the PowerPoint that goes along with the guided notes. And again, a lot of the information that I put together for the guided notes came straight from the quiz that I created on SchoolNet. So I'll give you a few moments to look over the guided notes and the PowerPoint and the quiz for Objective 8L 4.1 so that you can see how they all relate to each other. Okay, good. Did you see any correlations there? Great. All right, so moving on. The second and the third packet inside of your folder all relates to 8L 4.1. So I won't go over that in detail, but you can look at the lesson plan and the information that goes along with it. The last packet that's inside of your folder is 8L 4.2. So I pretty much use the same concept. I've provided you with the PowerPoint with the guided notes, and I think it has a quiz as well. So there's also a quiz, a 8L 4.2 quiz that I created before I began to create my lessons. So I won't go over that one in great detail, but I follow the same format as 8L 4.1. Okay, so now that brings us to today's activity. My students will probably assess this unit Monday or Tuesday of next week. The stations that you will see them working on today when you come into the classroom is all posted on their Google Classroom site. If you don't use Google Classroom, it is great. It is a great tech tool that I would strongly suggest that you use with your students. So I've created 4 stations on Google Classroom. The first station is a Edpuzzle activity. If you haven't used Edpuzzle in your classroom, it is wonderful. You can go in, pull videos that have questions already in them, or you can add your own questions into the video. So that'll be one activity that you'll see my students working on today. The second station includes a graphic organizer and a reading article. I have given the students instructions to close their laptops when they work this station because I want them to be able to write on the article and write their answers into the graphic organizer. Now, I'm a big fan of technology. I am currently working on my master's in instructional technology. I love it. But I also know the importance of having students to write things out. So I always try to put an activity in there where the students are not just typing, but they're writing as well. So this is one of those activities. After they complete station number 2, they will move on to station number 4. They will move on to station number 3, which is a Write It, Image It activity. In this activity, the students will be creating a Google Doc. They will title it Evolution and Genetics. And I have questions that they're going to answer in paragraph form about evolution and genetics. And then at the bottom of that doc, they will place 3 images that relate to what we have written or what they have written in their paragraph. So that is a Google Doc activity where they'll type there. And the last one is a quiz activity. I pulled some questions again from SchoolNet, and I created a Quiz, which is an online quiz format, kind of like in the form of a game. The students like to compete to see who has the most points, to see who's in first place. But it really doesn't matter because Quiz will grade it for you, and then you can go and pull a report from Quiz. Now, while the students are completing these activities, they won't necessarily be moving around. So this will kind of be like the flipped classroom model, which I will serve as facilitator. So walking around, making sure that the students are where they're supposed to be is important. That is going to be the success of your technology stations. If you station yourself in one spot and just think that the students are doing what they're supposed to do, doesn't really work like that. These are some sneaky little boogers, let me tell you. So you have to facilitate walking around and kind of looking over their shoulder, making sure they're where they're supposed to be, answering questions and things of that nature. And I really do believe the students get a lot out of these types of activities. And the good thing about it is you only have to take up one piece of paper. And the only piece of paper that you'll be collecting is the graphic organizer that goes along with the genetic variations article. The Ed puzzle grades itself. The Write It, Image It activity on Google Classroom, you simply go in, read it, give them a grade. You don't have to print anything out. And of course, Quiz grades itself. So the only piece of paper, even though the students have completed 4 different activities, there's only one piece of paper that you'll have to take up. Well, you guys, I know this video was probably intense, very long. I was very nervous. I feel like I repeated myself over and over again. When I go back and look at this video, I'm probably gonna like, oh my God, why did I say this? Why did I say that? But I'm passionate about what I do. I love my students. I love integrating technology into my classroom, and I love to help. So I hope this has been a help to you, and I hope whenever you come into the classroom today that you learn something new and that you enjoy your experience.